Welcome back. News trivia question. Which country has the world's highest newspaper circulation? Answer, Japan. Its #1 daily, Yomiuri Shimbun, has a readership of more than 10 million. Its rival, Asahi Shimbun, has 8 million readers. So if you're a politician who falls out of favor with the country's press, you're in big trouble. That's where Prime Minister Shinzo Abe finds himself these days. When he came to power as the country's youngest ever leader with an impeccable political pedigree, the papers dubbed him the Princeling. But now, 1 year later, after Abe's party took an electoral beating, those same papers are calling for his resignation. The Listening Post's Salah Qadar now on how a once supportive, even deferential Japanese print media turned against their little prince.
Abe resign and accept defeat ran the headlines following the crushing defeat of Prime Minister Shinzo Abe's ruling party in Japan's upper house elections this summer. The ruling Liberal Democratic Party suffered a double blow, first in the polls and then in the press, when it lost almost half its seats to the opposition.
The media basically telling Mr Abe, well, hey Mr Abe, ever thought of resigning? Basically because this is the most catastrophic election defeat in the upper house that your party has ever suffered since it was formed in 1955. You seem to be in a state of denial, and normally in the past when your party has suffered an election setback, the Prime Minister jumps on his sword quite quickly. It's the Japanese way, you know.
Liberal daily Asahi Shimbun's reaction was typical of the more progressive media. It advised the Prime Minister to take the result more seriously and resign gracefully. It warned that politics will enter a turbulent age from now on.
I would say the Japanese mass media or print media, newspapers are divided into two camps, 50-50. And the conservative newspapers are still supporting him in the sense that they are not demanding his resignation yet. And liberal newspapers so-called liberal newspapers are demanding his resignation.
The media in post-war Japan has traditionally been respectful towards the ruling party, but Abe's defeat in the polls has provoked almost unprecedented criticism in the press.
Usually, mainstream media is reluctant to criticize the government because they belong to the press club and they have exclusive access to the government information.
A defeat in the upper house means the ruling Liberal Democratic Party loses its ability to pass legislation, which some commentators warn could plunge the country into a political deadlock. However, so far Mr Abe has shown no indication that he will give up his post. In fact, he has said very little at all.
On election night, when he was being questioned, it was like a sort of a shop dummy. He wasn't really responding to this catastrophic defeat. It seemed that he was so arrogant, he just couldn't take it in.
This inability or refusal to respond quickly in a crisis has characterized Mr Abe's relationship with the media since he came to power in September 2006. His year as Prime Minister has been blighted by a series of ministerial scandals, ending in 4 resignations, 1 suicide, and a government crisis involving lost pension records affecting 50 million claims. Criticism of Abe was not limited to the press.
Television broadcasters are supposed to be politically neutral, but they are offering very many political talk shows, and these talk shows addressed, for example, very sloppy management of public pension data, and that damaged the image of his government very much.
Mr Abe did nothing to improve his media image abroad when he said that World War II sex slaves had not been coerced by the military, a claim which contradicted Japan's official statement of 1993 and caused outrage in the US, Australia, Korea and China, among others.
But what frightened people was that what really lurks behind there, because, you know, in this media world we live in, we actually get to see what people are. You can't keep up a pretense all the time. And every time that you do see the real Abe, it frightens certain elements of the Japanese media. So that might be another reason why the media is perhaps keen that he should fall on his sword.
It is a complete turnaround from 1 year ago when Mr Abe came to office. At the time, he was hailed as the Princeling, the country's youngest ever Prime Minister and a worthy successor to former Prime Minister Junichiro Koizumi.
His real problem was his predecessor, Mr. Koizumi, was so flamboyant, charismatic, and an exciting politician, very media savvy, sharp suits, wonderful hairstyle, and sort of genuinely likeable chap.
But Mr. Abe is not good at that kind of abilities. When he appears on television, he always hesitant to say something, or he's always hesitant to express his opinion. That is why public opinion turned against him, because he's not very decisive, strong leader.
I think Mr. Abe misunderstood how to use the media. For example, when he interviewed by correspondent, he doesn't watch the interviewer, but he gets into the camera as like that. So it was quite curious and looking something arrogant, because he seems like ignore the correspondent.
As the scandal hit, gaffe-prone Abe faced increasing criticism in the media. He tried to control his image by only talking to certain newspapers.
He rather tried to take some distance with the more progressive media, you can say like ours. But I think the way that he tried to support his friends was a bit too much. And he was also criticized by the media, whom was supportive for him.
Mr. Abe underestimated the power of Japan's press. In a country where 80% of adults read a newspaper every day, his failure to deal with political crises and his lack of media savvy could not go unnoticed for long.
The tension between media and the political party is getting more and more tense and difficult, in my opinion. But I think it's not the time just to make fight between, but we criticize because this is our job, and the political leader should listen to not the media, but the voice of the readers.
A few weeks ago, we reported on the media phenomenon known as militainment. That's the marriage of political convenience between the U.S. military and the entertainment industry. Among the cinematic offspring of their union, films like Top Gun and Black Hawk Down, and there was the profiles from the frontline collaboration between the Pentagon and blockbuster film producer Jerry Bruckheimer. Here are some global village voices now with their thoughts on the military entertainment complex.
You've got to remember the US military is an enormous machine that is constantly in need of recruits. And one of the most effective ways of recruiting is to glamorize and dramatize military life. And what movies do very effectively is perform that role for them. During the Second World War, they had some very positive experiences with a lot of semi-propaganda movies which portrayed the military in a very positive light. Then you had a very bruising experience with the Vietnam War, where Hollywood kind of turned on the US military and where it was portrayed in quite a negative light. In the 1980s, Top Gun sort of wrote the book on modern media management.
It's not only the movie industry that is affected by this relationship. Anybody who is presenting some sort of challenge to the system ultimately are presented as rebels or terrorists with no real insight into their actual background, what kind of ideological framework they're working from, and what they're attempting to achieve. So essentially, anybody that's an enemy to the US military in gaming terms becomes really just a blip on the radar and something to be shot with a high-velocity weapon from a distance.
Finally, we know, because the White House told us, that George Bush's iPod playlist includes tracks by Eric Clapton and Van Morrison. But does it have U2's anti-war classic, Sunday Bloody Sunday, on it? We're guessing not. This cleverly cut version of the song, sung by W himself, gives Bono a run for his money. It's our Internet Video of the Week. We'll see you next time at The Listening Post.
This song is not a rebel song. This song, Sunday, Bloody Sunday. I can't believe the news today. Can't close my eyes and make it go away. How long must we sing this song? How long? Too long. For too long. Tonight, we can be as one. Tonight. Broken bottles under children's feet. Bodies strewn across the dead streets. But I won't heed the battle call. And the battle's just begun. This many lost. And tell me who has won. The trenches dug within our hearts. Mothers, children, brothers, sisters, torn apart. And it's true, we're not immune. One fact is fiction and TV reality. And today the millions cry. We eat and drink while tomorrow they die. Sunday, bloody Sunday. Sunday, bloody Sunday. Sunday, bloody Sunday. Sunday, bloody Sunday.